Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is September 21st, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1941, former NWA World's Heavyweight Champion, Jack Briscoe. 1956, one half of the greatest tag team of all time, Ricky Morton. And last but not least, 1987, AEW's own Ivelisse. And we're going to keep that positivity train a-rolling. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for September 21st. A super short trip in the Wayback Machine today as we start in 1986. Carlos Colon defeats Terry Funk in a tournament final for the WWC Universal Heavyweight title in Puerto Rico. The belt had been vacated on April 30th when Colon was injured. This began Colon's fifth title reign with that belt. On the same card, the Rock and Roll RPMs, Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, defeat the Pastors, Luke Williams and Butch Miller, to win the WWC World Tag Team titles. That next year in 1987, Ted DiBiase makes his return to Madison Square Garden after almost 8 years after his last Garden match, where he lost to a debuting Hulk Hogan. This time in his $1 Million Man persona, DiBiase offered Junkyard Dog $500 not to wrestle him. JYD instead headbutted DiBiase, then gave the money to the crowd. Our final stop in the 80s, 1989. WWE taped Saturday night's main event at the Riverfront Coliseum in Cincinnati, Ohio, with a main event of WWF World Champion Hulk Hogan defeating Ted DiBiase with a small package. After the match, DiBiase and Zeus attacked Hogan, but Jake Roberts made the save, using Damien to run them off. Making 2 stops in 1992. First, Barry Windham and Dustin Rhodes defeat Terry Gordy and Steve Williams to win the WCW and NWA World Tag Team titles in Atlanta, Georgia. Our second stop in 92, Brian Christopher defeats Reno Riggins in Memphis, Tennessee to win the vacant USWA Southern Heavyweight title. The belt had been vacated after a match between then-champion Riggins and Christopher on September 14th. With this win, Christopher became the champion for a 5th time. On the same card, Junkyard Dog defeated Eddie Gilbert for the USWA Unified Heavyweight title, ending Gilbert's second reign. And Moondog Fifi defeated Miss Texas for the USWA Women's title. Moving to 1994. After just 3 years of operations, the Global Wrestling Federation closed down. The group, which had a television show on ESPN, had attempted to fill the wrestling void left when Fritz von Erich left the business and Jerry Jarrett stopped promoting in Texas. This would pretty much mark the end of any Dallas-based company as a national force on the wrestling scene. The company is credited for helping launch the careers of The Patriot, Jerry Lynn, and the Lightning Kid, aka Sean Waltman. And last but not least, 1998, Masahiro Chono vacates the IWGP Heavyweight title due to a severe neck injury. Those were your super short but super sweet pro wrestling history highlights for September 21st. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.